Hi. Hello, everybody. I think the autofocus is like, where is your face? My face is right here. There we go. Hello. Welcome to RV Sip and Stitch time. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Uh, how is everybody? Sorry for my late start. I just was like drying my hair and getting lost in time and space. It's the holiday weekend, so it's been a little bit that wee, but that's all right. Let me just make sure that things is going here. I think we're good. I think we're good on. Hi, Chris. Hi from Yorkshire. Are you freezing up there? How's your weather been? Hi, Patty. Yay. Hi, everybody who's joining. Oh, this is so exciting. Happy post-Thanksgiving for those of you who are in the U.S. Happy Saturday for those of you who are elsewhere. I'm working on the Tiny Advent calendar. It's a cute little pattern that I put out. It was last November's Stitch People Club pattern, and anyway, I've made it available for $5 on stitchpeople.com. It's just like stitch a letter a day advent. So let me see if I can pull it up. Actually, that would be cute of me to be able to like show you the pattern. Tiny Advent. There's a little Hanukkah one and a Christmas one. So that's what I'm working on. Let me know what you're working on, if you please, if you like, whatever. Let me share my screen. This is what I'm working on. This is what I'm working on. Can I do this? Let's see. I'm not quite sure how to share my screen on this interface. There we go. So this is the Tiny Advent calendar. So I'm stitching me and Spencer, and then I'll set up Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I've adjusted this pattern from last year to this year so that all of the days of the week line up. So it's just stitching a little motif or a little letter every single day. And I have a color guide in there if you don't want to choose your own colors. And then I have a Happy Hanukkah one. So the idea is that you would stitch your couple and you'd stitch Happy Hanukkah, but then every day you just stitch one of these little candles. And I've got a color guide in there too. And then I also have outlines for those of you who are embroidery happy, who don't want to maybe stitch the couple, but just want to do the little calendar part because it's a fun little extra. So this is what I'm working on today. What are you working on? Or is anybody working on projects? How do I do this? I don't know how to make myself go bigger. This is like this. That's close enough. Good enough for me. What a beautiful day. Chris says in Yorkshire it's wet, but no real snow yet. We got a little bit of a dusting yesterday here in Maine. Spencer and I are still in Maine, where my family is. Oh, yay, we've had so many more people join on Instagram. Sarah says, not working on anything, but I love your book. I've used it for multiple gifts. Sarah, thanks. I'm glad. Gifts are the point. I'm going to be doing a whole series coming up here on handmade Christmas gift ideas because 'tis the year for that. Because 2025, man. So I don't know, give me your ideas of like people that you don't know who to buy for, and maybe you don't want to buy, maybe you're on a budget this year. I know we are. I was just talking to my mom about this, like, and it's also everything's so stinking expensive this year, as well as a lot of us are very, in the world as it is, a lot of us have a lot of what we need, so a lot of stuff feels superfluous. So it's been a topic of discussion for me and my mom and me and my sister. So I'm really good at like out of the box gift ideas. So tell me if you're struggling, because I can help you brainstorm. I enjoy it. Andy says gift cards from Stitch People is the only thing I ask for Christmas. Oh my gosh, Andy. Well, thanks. I'm curious, are there any patterns or books or anything in particular that have your eye on, like for a certain project? Just curious. Lily says, good morning. It's cold and the wind is blowing like crazy here in Oklahoma. Oklahoma was windy. that was one of my, as we drove through it this year, I need to still tell more of my stories. I was telling stories on Instagram of all the people we met across the country. Oklahoma was great. We didn't stop for very long, but we made a couple pit stops as we drove through, and the roads were better than in New Mexico. New Mexico's roads got a little bumpy sometimes, a little uneven. I was annoyed by that. And then we got in Oklahoma, it was like smooth sailing, but man, the wind, that's real. Let's see, we got a couple of inches of snow last night in Nova Scotia. Not a lot of time to stitch right now, but hopefully soon. Well, that's one of the reasons I'm working on this little advent calendar pattern is I'll put it on. Maybe I can add it to the stage. There we go. This background, this is so funny. How do I make it so that it's the small one? We're just going to have like layout dance right now. Just layout dancing. I want to make it so that like I'm the big one, but that this shared screen is the small one. Is that even possible?
Probably.
I don't know. Maybe I won't worry about it. But the reason I have this tiny advent calendar is exactly for what, username, you went away in the chat, but somebody said, not a lot of time for stitching right now, but hopefully soon. That's why I'm like, okay, a letter a day. I can do a letter, a little motif, just like one single thing a day. Last year, I finished my big Stitch People advent calendar. And because I had done it enough to get pictures for it for like the pattern to put it online. And then I never finished it because I got really, really burnt out. But I finished it last year. And those little guys take a couple hours a piece, those little ornaments, which is great. But, you know, I was really stitching my fingers to the bone to finish that in time for Christmas and to be able to post videos, you know, every day of December. Andy says, I have none, so I want them all. Andy, that's so great. Thanks. We do have a gift card available at stitchpeople.com. I realized we didn't because earlier this year, Spencer just got me my sip for our Sip and Stitch. It's a Kirkland brand sparkling water. We transferred our website. Spencer's like our website man, and he transferred us from having a WordPress site to having a we're back on Shopify. We were on Shopify for a long time, and then we wanted more customization, and now we're back on Shopify. And we lost our gift card, our gift certificate option in the process, and somebody emailed and was like, do you have that? I was like, yes, we definitely do. So gift cards, gift certificates, whatever you want to call it, I think we call it gift card online, is now available, and you can choose what increment you want, and that'll come through digitally. So we also have a cute little like PDF that's like a gift is on its way. That I need to make a mental note to add to the gift card when it comes. If somebody, because you like, sometimes people like to print out, you know, you want to give something physical. Digital products are hard to give because you like opening something on Christmas Day. So I need to add printable to gift card because I realize in this moment I never did it, and now I will. Now I will. Andy, are you already a cross stitcher? Are you a crafter embroiderer already, or is cross stitching New Frontier? If it's New Frontier, we do have a free how to cross stitch guide that has a pattern in it, a little cute little pattern. Just love. It says love. So check it out if you need to learn how to cross stitch. I have a meandering video on YouTube about how to cross stitch. What is cross stitch?
Less meandering than you think.
Yeah, okay, good. It's long. Yes, but just for fun, I've done a couple of kits. Oh, good. Then you know what you're up to. Now you get to do the fun designing part and customizations and all that, which we love. Very cool. I'm looking at Lauren says, working on Christmas gifts. Yay. We're using your book to do everyone's house portrait and teacher template for my sister. Awesome. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. The house book. Oh gosh, what a book. It's so beautiful. Teresa worked for us for a long time. When the economy got silly, we had to let our team go, and that was like the worst day, but we still very proudly sell her hand stitch house book. It's beautiful and such a good resource. Sarah says, watching from Luxembourg, not a lot of snow so far. Well, that's fancy.
That is fancy.
Do you live there, or are you just visiting? I've never been there. I've never thought to go there. This is one of the things we're excited about as we keep working on moving to the UK. Oh, Spencer's here, everyone. Just here. You can see his shoulder. As we are continuing to work on moving to the UK, we're excited about the prospect of being closer to Europe generally, to be able to go visit more places that we've never seen. So,
like Luxembourg.
Yeah. Excuse me, I've got a bubble in my throat from this. in Nova
Your Kirkland
Scotia,
sparkling water?
yeah, my Kirkland signature sparkling water, lime flavor. In Nova Scotia, are you going to be getting that polar vortex coming through? There's a vortex. I love a vortex. Just the word is a great word. Vortex. Yeah, is that bound to hit you all the way up there? I think we're going to get it.
Yeah, I think
here in Maine. We're in
we're
southern Maine.
Slated to get it. It's like the north and northeast.
Yeah, northeast generally, but Nova Scotia's a bit higher than us. So
Just a bit.
quite a bit. So I think it's possible that you might be out of that range, but you are farther north, so that is snowier. That's like, I don't want to say Santa, but we're getting up there, closer to the big man's house on the North Pole.
He who must
You
not
know
be
what
named.
well, we don't want to get too excited too soon.
I see.
You know what I mean? Just saying. I'm so excited about the idea of handmade Christmas. I'm going to brag about my sister for a minute. She has done a really, really cool, like DIY Christmas decor. I'm going to see if I can convince her to take pictures of her house that I can post. Because I would be following suit, and maybe I will, but our RV is really little, and I don't want to make it feel too crowded by going overboard with decorations. But she has gotten out the construction paper, all sorts of things to like make her own Christmas decorations this year, and it looks so festive and cute. And so I want to do a video about like, hey, listen, you don't have to buy everything. You can make things, and actually you'll be more proud of your decor when you've made it by hand, because you're just like, you have that feeling of like, I did that every time you look at it, every time you enjoy it. I was thinking, like, if you have paper bags lying around from the grocery store, or next time you go to the grocery store, check out with paper bags, and you can cut paper bags into strips. You could paint them or color them with crayons to get like cute designs and fun colors, and then turn those into paper chains. You could also turn paper bags into wrapping paper in the same way. You could use old fabric. Isn't that like a Japanese thing to wrap gifts in reusable fabric, so that you don't have to spend extra money on wrapping paper. You can wrap gifts in other gifts, like if you are gifting a scarf or using like little stretchy headbands as bows on top of your gifts for the gals in your life, and you know, having gifts be their own kind of wrapping, if that's you know, the thing. Oh, Cindy says, missed the start. Where are you currently? We're still in Maine. We're still in our RV, still in my parents. We've moved from my great grandparents built this little cabin on a lake that I would go to every summer, and that has stayed in our family. It's not like insulated. It's very much an old style, like summer cottage, breezy, no air conditioning or anything. And we were there in September and October, and then as it got colder, we moved. My parents live near the coast in Maine, and we are now in their backyard, and it's been really fun. The nights are getting cold. We're leaving the faucets on a little drip to make sure the lines don't freeze. And we're debating if we want to get a skirt to prevent the cold air from flowing too much around the bottom of the RV, because we lose a lot of heat. We heat up inside just fine, and it feels good inside, but the structure of the motorhome itself is not efficient in its insulation is the word I'm looking for.
Anything but efficient.
Anything but efficient. But my parents lent us this spare space heater they had. We were thinking about buying one of this style. It looks like a little, I'm looking at it. It's like a little wood stove, and it has like a fake fire. And so now our little RV has a fireplace, and it's so cute. It feels so, so cozy. We should get it nice and cleaned up today, and then I'll do a tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. A little RV tour, because we put a ton of our house stuff here in the RV. Well, you can see we've washed our dishes that are drying, and our dogs are all spread out on their comfort things right now. But when it's all cleaned up and put together, it's a very, very, very cozy little place. We have found it to be really, really an interesting experience. We've done long-term stints in our RV before for months at a time, but we've always had all of our stuff at our house and like our normal house to go back to at the end. And having sold our house, having sold most of our stuff, literally everything we own, we left a couple boxes of keepsakes, like old yearbooks and stuff. We left, sorry, I'm going to put a pillow on my seat. But we left a couple boxes of keepsakes in the little family cabin that I referenced earlier. And other than that, and it's like, that's really like 4 boxes or something. Like, it's not that many boxes. And other than that, everything we own is in the RV. And it's been, I keep explaining to people who've asked that it feels very ADHD friendly. So for those of you who have a touch of the ADHD or just fully have it, such as I and Spencer, it's easier to keep track of stuff because there's less stuff and it's a smaller space. So if you lose track of something, there's only going to be a couple places that it could be. And if you, I'm one of those people who gets like, I get into my work groove for the day and I forget to eat. Like, I forget to eat breakfast or lunch. And that happens less here because, like, literally this little kitchen, that's the kitchen, and it's right behind me and it's right by my work space. And so if I scooch 10 feet that way to go use the little bathroom, and on my way back, I'm right in the kitchen on my way back to my desk. Like, since it's so small, it's like, oh, I should grab a yogurt or I should grab a snack. So I'm eating more, I'm staying more hydrated because it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to take my water bottle all the way over, out the door, down the hall, into the kitchen and fill it up. It's like, no, the sink's just right there and I can pretty much my brain feels like it's staying on task a little more. It's cool having everything within like arm's reach. Very cool experience. So that's been informative. We've stayed in the RV maybe a little longer than we planned. But our paperwork and stuff, it's just taking a while to establish what we need to get over to the UK. It's in the works, but it's just, and being around my family, and it was Thanksgiving and now it's getting cold and the holidays, like, we're just hunkered down and cooped up and it's cozy and life has slowed down a little in a nice way. So we're leaning in for a while. I don't know why I started on that tangent, but it's been really fun. So I highly recommend downsizing a little, just even in stuff. I felt a sense of weight lifting off my shoulders with every garage sale we had, every trip to the donation store. Man, it was great. Which also leads into my economically less painful Christmas recommendations. There's a lot of really high quality stuff at thrift stores. Just saying. There's people like us everywhere who are just need to get rid of things and don't want to do Facebook Marketplace because it's a headache and a hassle. So, like, check out thrift stores for Christmas. Why the heck not? Beautiful, like, you could get a frame there for $2 and frame a memory for someone. You could get a beautiful vase and fill it with candy or flowers. You could get, there's some nice things. And actually, if you are I saw this cool, I need to post it to stories, but I saw this great video of a woman who has a business called Whatever Sweater. Has anybody heard of this? Whatever Sweater? This woman, she used to work at Joann's. It like from her profile online, it looks like maybe she used to work for Joann's. And she was like, I'm sick of, basically plastic yarn being sold at impersonal stores that treats their employees poorly and doesn't really care about their customers, this, that, and the other. So she started this business called Whatever Sweater. And what she does is she saves sweaters from going into a landfill. She saves cotton and wool sweaters, and she unsweaters them into new spools of yarn, and she like washes it and whatever. Whatever Sweater. So if you are a knitter or a crocheter, but you're feeling limited by maybe the price of new skeins of yarn, maybe think about going to a thrift store and buying a nice wool or cotton sweater and just pulling that strand until you have a fresh skein of beautiful wool or cotton yarn that you can turn into something else. I thought that was such a cool idea. And she said each of her rolls of yarn is about 3 balls worth. I don't crochet or knit, so I don't know what the standard, I don't know really how much that is. But for those of you who do, check out Whatever Sweater on Etsy, because I think that's the future. My mom also sent me, there's this cute company in England that basically it's the same thing, but only for stuffed animals. So they'll take, which totally, like if you've ever seen Toy Story, and it's like, oh no, like the poor toys that don't get played with anymore, and you just want them to live their best little toy life. This speaks to that part in my heart.
Sorry, what movie are you talking about?
This cheeky guy. Toy Story, only the best animated feature of all time. But they save toys and they wash them and they like zhuzh them back into good condition and then resell them at a much lower price, and they put them in a cute box and give them a second life, which I think is so great. I love it so much. So check out some of these options or do the same. Like I got rid of a bunch of stuffed animals. I gave a lot to my niece and nephew, but like I had a box of stuffed animals, some things from childhood. I had a bear in there that my boyfriend in high school gave me, like super cute, and I held on to it for a reason, but like I don't need that anymore, but it was really cute. So I don't know if you have extra Beanie Babies lying around, like give them a wash if you need to. Beanie Babies are often pristine, but put them in a nice new package in a little bag or a box, and bam, nieces and nephews, there's their presents. There's no shame in that, and it's passing your own memories along, and there's something fun there. So there are ways to save this Christmas, my friends. There are ways to save this Christmas. And I'm like super into the idea. Hi everybody, we've got a few new people who joined on Instagram. Awesome. I recently retired, and that's my project after the holidays. We love it. We love a new project. It's been fun to start this new project. I haven't worked on one for myself in a while. I've made a few portraits, like a few gifts and things. But yeah, always fun to start on something new. I just have to look at my pattern for a moment. If anybody's watching who celebrated Thanksgiving, how'd it go? And did anybody do, I mean, I know I'm talking all about like reduce, reuse, recycle gifts, but did anybody do Black Friday? Did we have success? My mom has been coordinating this effort called the Giving Machines. She's been volunteering to set up in the main mall here in Portland. They're vending machines, but she set up that everything in the vending machines that you buy goes to local charities. So instead of buying like a candy bar or bag of chips, you can buy like a pack of diapers or a pack of light bulbs for somebody who is low income, or even, all sorts of stuff. We bought like a pack and play for this organization called Furniture Friends, and all of the, it's like a vending machine, and they have these cards and they fall off into the bin, which is cute. And then 100% of the proceeds go to the local charities to help people. So anyway, my mom had to drop something off yesterday to the station and where the machines are. So we were at the mall on Black Friday. It was wild. It was so busy. It was fun. It was fun to see, like, I don't know. It felt like I kept saying to Spencer, we're part of a community. Like there's all these people here. It's so fun. It was great. We stopped at Old Navy, and I got a pair of $5 pajama pants, little flannel pants, and a little top for I think $10. So that was my Black Friday shopping. It was fun. So yeah, did anybody else get anything Black Friday? We had a really low-key Thanksgiving. It was just me and Spencer and my parents, but it was fun. My mom does a great Thanksgiving.
Great Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Had all the old staples from, growing up, which is fun. Let's see, we had turkey, And gravy, of course. She made cornbread, which was fun. Cranberry sauce, but she does it from scratch. It's like this gorgeous recipe of cranberries and raisins and apples, and you like boil it down with juice, apple cider, and oh, it's so good. We had cheesy potatoes and green bean casserole and stuffing, and I made a leek dish that I saw on Instagram that was yummy, and I never made leeks before, so that was cool. And then she made apple pie and a pumpkin cake. It was almost like a cheesecake. Pumpkin. It was really good. Really good cake. And that was our Thanksgiving.
It was a really good cake.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's everybody's favorite pie? Are we pie people here? Do we like pie? Oh my goodness, the comments. I didn't realize the comments haven't been updating on Instagram. I have to scroll. Lily says, we're getting the vortex starting Sunday, Monday. Just a little cold mix. Okay. Let's see. Kay Scholes, is that Katie? I saw somebody share a recipe to make homemade vanilla extract. Oh yes, homemade vanilla extract. I had a friend do that once for Christmas. It's simpler than you think.
Really?
Yeah, it's basically you just distill vanilla beans in alcohol, and it extracts the flavor. That's what it is.
No kidding.
And then you just put it in little jars, and it's like delish. I do that. I had my friend who did it lived in like the thick of like Mormon land in Utah, and who don't drink alcohol. And she said a few neighbors did not understand that, like, no, this is what extracts are. Like, they're like, oh, but there's alcohol in this. And she's like, yeah. Yes, and the same with the one in your cupboard that you use for cookies. Like, she had to explain. People didn't understand. I thought that was cute.
It'd be really good in coffee. Just like a little dollop.
Like a little dollop of extract?
Yeah.
You had to like you need an eyedropper.
Yeah.
Yeah, homemade vanilla extract. Love that. A goat or a chicken, yes, for the giving machines. You can buy like a goat or a chicken for the for like rural areas or poor countries who like do more homesteading and farming, and could use a chicken and lay eggs and whatnot. Yeah, really, really fun. I'm so sorry I got behind on comments. I will keep my scroll going over here. Thank you guys for joining. Hi. Come stitch a project. I'm curious. Oh, I already clipped my thread. Surprise. Do you ever like get to the end of a bowl of M&Ms or something and you're like, where did those go? I just had that same sensation where I went to like finish off my floss and clip it off, and I had already done it. That's what you call autopilot stitching. Okay, I can't decide if I want to do, so the pattern, I did the white detailing on the green sweater the way that I have it on the pattern, and I just repeated that same detailing on the red sweater. But I'm thinking I might do stripes, you guys. Is that weird? I was thinking I might do like pinkish white stripes instead. I know, I'm really, really going wild over here. Thinking outside the box, except I don't have any pinkish. Maybe I'll just do white stripes like a candy cane. That'd be cute. Do I do them diagonal, vertical? I'll do horizontal. Horizontal stripes, classic. I'm really, really living large over here. Very wild and crazy Saturday afternoon decisions being made.
Wild. I mean,
you can't stop me.
Shorts.
You can't stop me. It's
don't you dare. I'll stop
Un poco loco. We're going nuts with our stripes. Oh boy. The thrills of cross stitching. It's gonna look really cute though, and I stand by that. I stand by it. Anyway, yes, for those watching, I need you to put in the chat what your favorite pie is. I am privy to apple pie, but I really, really grew up on apple pie because it's my dad's favorite. So my mom was always making apple pies for celebrations. So I just love me an apple pie. Pumpkin pie is delish. Spencer's family doesn't mean chocolate pie. That's one of your traditions.
Love a chocolate.
We love a chocolate pie. You know what Spencer's family does? Come closer. No. When I married into this family, I did a Thanksgiving with them. And a tradition through his dad's side is to have with the primary Thanksgiving meal itself. This is not a separate event. This is not a pre or post Thanksgiving meal dish. This is, you've got your turkey, you've got your potatoes, your green beans, etc. Cinnamon rolls. I repeat, cinnamon rolls, like sticky bun. The recipe you have, they're more like little knots. They're smaller. They're not like the big honkin' roll style. They're like cinnamon roll knots that are more like a dinner roll size. Oh my gosh, game changer. 10 out of 10 recommend. Look yourself up for next Thanksgiving, a sticky sweet cinnamon roll bun, something like this recipe. Serve it with your main course. You won't be sorry. You won't be sorry.
You will not be. Can confirm it.
Oh, Chris says egg and bacon pie, but my husband hates eggs, so I never make it. Oh no, Chris!
Egg and bacon. Wow.
We'll have to get together sometime. I love eggs. I love them. Egg and bacon pie. That's right. Pies in the UK are very savory oftentimes. We love that. Oh yeah, we love a savory pie. I like that reminds me of quiche. I like a quiche.
Ooh.
Quiche Lorraine.
Nothing like a quiche.
Which is like savory pie deliciousness. Yummo. Yummo, I say. Spencer, what's your favorite pie? I love a strawberry rhubarb.
Rhubarb. Something rhubarb.
Yeah. Strawberry rhubarb pie is
kind of hands down
delicious. I love it. Oh, should I do long straight stitch stripes? No. I'm going to do the stitch at a time style stripes.
All right.
You know, I know it takes way longer, but it'll look way better. It'll look way better.
All right.
We've been watching a lot of British media lately. We just finished watching The Gentleman on Netflix, the series with Guy Ritchie. It's like, it's very crass, but also weirdly elegant. We also been watching Kunk on Earth. Is that?
We finished that one.
We finished Kunk on Earth.
Started Kunk on Life.
Yes. I don't know if anybody's watched those. It's this British woman playing a character called Penelope. I think Penelope Kunk.
Yeah.
And she plays this character. It's like a documentary of the history of the earth, you know, and she starts with the ancient people and takes you through Egypt and Rome and whatever, like a traditional documentary would. But it's very, very, very funny. She's a little bit, her character is a little bit like not the sharpest tool in the shed. And so, you know, she's delivering these lines about, you know, as we walk the Roman streets, we see this and that and the technology that they had. And it feels sort of legitimate in that sense that of the style of these documentaries. But the way she says things and the way she explains them are very, very silly. So if you haven't seen Kunk on Earth with Penelope Kunk, do. It's very funny. Very, very funny. She's got a bit of that northern accent too. That's why I thought about it, because Chris from Yorkshire. It's fun. The more familiar we get with British dialects, the more we see it. At least, I mean, dialect is sort of a pet fascination for me, and I love like learning about them and learning how to do them and recreate them to the best of my ability. I'm not perfect, but you know, as an actor type. And there was a long history there. Long ago, there was a history of missionary work for the LDS Church in England and Scandinavia, but especially England. And we were watching Lord of the Rings, and my sister pointed this out. My sister studied in England. She studied acting, and she had pointed this out too. But we were watching Lord of the Rings, and I think maybe it's in the Hobbit movies, because we watched the 3 Hobbit movies and 3 Lord of the Rings. And somebody says something about hurricane, but with the British accent, this particular accent they have, which I think is more of a West Coast kind of British accent. They say, as the American English would say hurricane, but this accent was like hurricane. It's a hurricane. And there's this little town in Utah that's spelled hurricane, but they pronounce it hurricane. Like it's one of those little isms, right? Like in Connecticut or in the UK, you have like what looks like Gloucester, but they say Gloucester. It's one of those things that, like, if you know, you know, and if you're a local, you say it the way that it's supposed to be said, even though it doesn't make any sense. And that's one of those ones in Utah. It's like, oh, you know, you're an out of stater. If somebody says, yeah, I'm going to Hurricane Utah, it's like, no, it's hurricane. And we always would be like, what is that weird Utah accent that makes something say like Hurricane Utah? But the area was settled by a lot of English people. So there you go. It's a hurricane. Hurricane Utah. And it just has become Americanized. Hurricane. But I thought that was interesting. Chris says, I don't have a Yorkshire accent. I've lived here 12 years. It was like moving to a foreign country. I couldn't understand what people were saying. It really can be that way, isn't it? We were watching The Responder, which takes place in Liverpool. And we had to put on subtitles because they speak so differently there that the way things get stuck in the throat, like it's like all back there. Yeah. And the way they abbreviate things, like in The Gentleman, there was somebody from Liverpool who was talking about the lecky, the electric, you know, the lecky bill. How much is your lecky bill? And they're like, what's lecky? And having watched The Responder, we knew that lecky means electricity. But yeah, it can be like navigating a totally different world. Absolutely. You get that a little bit in the US as well. I've found this cool guy on Instagram who speaks Cajun French. That's one thing that I really think is neat about our country is Louisiana and a lot of the South is very, very French influenced because the French settled it. So they speak French down there, but it's a very different form of French. And then especially with the slave trade as it happened in early days of the country, like just the different influences of language there morphed the French into this like French Creole. And the Southern accent there is also very, very different. But I think the Southern accent is heavily influenced by French pronunciation, whereas the New England accents are really, really heavily influenced by British and Irish pronunciation, just because that's who settled this part of the country. Same thing with Utah. You get these Scandinavian isms and Britishisms of various areas in Britain. But you can hear, like in Massachusetts, Maine, these New England accents are very, very, very heavily. There's a lot of Irish influence in them. Just like in New York City, you have a lot of Italian influence in what has become the New York accent. It's just really, really cool. I think it's really neat, the different influences. And I think you get that in California too. A lot of Spanish speakers have influenced the mainstream English lexicon. And so you get these really cool regional differences where everybody's speaking English, but, you know, it's just, there's history in the way we speak, and I like that a lot. I like it a lot. But it can result in what Chris brought up of like moving to a new place within your own country and being like, I don't understand a thing. I have a friend who moved to Scotland and said the same thing. Of just like, I can't remember where in Scotland they were, but just there's another world. And especially with all the what is it? The difference between accent and dialect, all the dialect, like all the isms of a place, you know, the abbreviations and the shorthand and slang that gets incorporated in different areas. It's always very fun to pick apart. Like, yeah, New Englanders say wicked all the time. Oh, it's wicked good. They're wicked smart. Oh, like, yeah, like Wicked. That's, somebody has spent a lot of time in New England if they use Wicked or whatnot. Angela just started a new order this morning. Perfect for the snowy morning. We love it. Love it, Angela. Have you gotten a lot of orders? Are you working on a lot for, Christmas? Is it like portraits or ornaments? Like what's your primary thing you're getting orders for? Pamela says, hi from Bolivia. Love your pattern so much. Oh, thanks, Pamela. How cool. Somebody from Bolivia. I don't know if I've ever talked to somebody in Bolivia. What's your weather like in Bolivia right now? I forget, like it hurts my brain that you've got the equator around the earth, and the higher north you get, like the colder it gets, and the farther south you get, the colder it gets. It just feels like the way my brain is oriented. In my hemisphere, you go south, it gets warmer. So it feels like that should carry for the whole earth.
For sure.
That like the top of the earth, very cold, the bottom of the earth, very warm. But it's cold on both the poles. And so I forget that the farther south you go in South America, well, I obviously don't forget because I'm discussing it, but it scrambles my brain that the farther south you go in South America, you start to get the snowy seasons just like up here. So okay, Pamela, in Bolivia, it's summer. Our Christmas is sunny. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. You get the cold, but at the opposite time of year. Yes. Like Australia. Yes.
Southern Hemisphere.
Yes. Southern Hemisphere is you get the seasons, but on the opposite schedule.
Now,
blows my brain.
If you're at the equator, I think that's
the equator never changes. The equator is just always warm, I think. Which makes sense? Question mark?
Well, because it's always
no, I know.
Earth
Right. It is always like that to the sun.
Right.
Or whatever. Versus this is like that. I'm trying, because there's this axis and then there's that axis. So
you need to find a ball.
No. It makes sense in my head. I know how it works.
Well, I know it makes sense in your head, but we need to explain it.
Well, I say just Google it if you need help. I think most people watching this understand, at least in theory. Bolivia, how cool. Pamela, if you ever have any friends who want to do Stitch People, we do offer our Stitch People Basics book in Spanish. I've been meaning to get more books translated and start a specifically Spanish Stitch People account, just to be able to reach a broader audience. So if anybody's like interested, let them know. And if you know anybody interested in running that account, let me know. It's so fun. I was looking at one of the things we have to do to get established in the UK is we're doing a unique route where we're establishing our business over there. And then we are in the process of applying for what's called a certificate of sponsorship, which is, it allows our business to sponsor visa workers. So then we will apply, basically I will apply for my own job at Stitch People in the UK, and Stitch People in the UK will sponsor my visa as the worker for the business there. So it's a bit convoluted. One of the things we have to do to get this certificate of sponsorship is prove that we are an existing business, so that people don't just like start a random business abroad and like go move and call it good, right? They want real businesses that are going to impact the economy and everything. So I've been building a business plan and showing how we're going to expand into the UK and why we belong in that market and all this. And part of that, long story long, was I was looking at our stats online, and we have sold Stitch People products in 92 countries around the world, which I just was like, what? I knew we were international, but to see that was like, wow, 92 countries around the world. So thanks everybody. That just made my day. I was like, that's really, really neat. It made me feel like, okay, we got to translate our stuff because I want people to feel like this is accessible to them. So Oh, Pamela says, I'm very interested. There's a big community in Latin America that loves to stitch. Okay, well, send me an email, Pamela. info@stitchpeople.com. I would love to chat with you about that. How fun. Oh, Angela says, this is my only stitch right now. It's for a family who adopted 3 kids. Oh, that's so nice. Cool. That's very special. That's really fun. I like portraits that have like a little extra story in them, you know, to capture in your design or in the way that you stitch it somehow. That's very fun. I still never get sick of gifting a Stitch People portrait. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love the reactions of people when they realize, like, oh my gosh, that's me, or you got my hair, you got my shirt, my favorite shoes, whatever it is. Like, that's the best, man. That's the freaking best. Especially because it takes time and attention to capture those things in the design or in the stitching of it. So when someone notices that you've noticed and you've taken the time to put that in there, like, oh, it's the best feeling. It's just like, yes, it landed, right? You just want somebody to feel seen and feel like you care. That's ultimately what it boils down to. That's all anybody wants, man, is like, do you see me? Do you know me? Do you care? Like, how wonderful for a moment to be like, yeah, I do. And yes, I do. And yes, I do.
I do.
I see, I know, I care. It's all we ever want in life. That's the armchair psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever. I love like reading about mental health and psychology and stuff like that. And it's so funny sometimes to look at everything going on in the world and you just see these men who are doing terrible things and you just know that like somewhere inside them it's like that's all they want too, and all of this is just for them to be like, do you see how cool and powerful I am? Like, yeah, man, go get a hug and calm down. Stop this nonsense. We see you. You're very cool and powerful. Now go eat a cookie and have a nap. Maybe that's all we need in life. It's cookies and naps. Raisin L. That's a cute username. Welcome, Raisin L. Do you like raisins? Raisins are underrated, I think. And you know what's even more underrated? Craisins. The cranberry raisins.
Wait, but you like raisins?
On occasion. I think they're underrated. I forget about them. That's part of them being underrated. It's because they're underrated, you tend to forget about them. I don't like raisins in cookies, and I will die on that hill.
Yeah, no, I know you will.
Because raisins in cookies, they are like the wolf in sheep's clothing of treats in cookies.
No.
You want a chocolate chip and you get a raisin, there's nothing more disappointing. Actually, it's more disappointing. No, that's more which is more disappointing? Biting into a cookie you think is chocolate chip and getting a raisin, or reaching into a bowl you haven't looked at too closely thinking it's an M&M and you get a Skittle? These are the real questions. I think we need to do a poll on that one later.
Okay, here I do really enjoy an oatmeal raisin cookie. I also enjoy an oatmeal chocolate chip. Oatmeal
chocolate chip cookies are delicious. Yeah, oatmeal raisin cookies are a travesty.
I also love M&Ms.
Yeah.
And I also love Skittles. Ugh. So I think I would be more disappointed. Mm-hmm. I think I would be more disappointed to bite into a cookie.
That was the wrong
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would be too. Because a Skittle, you can just go like, peh, it's a Skittle. I thought it was going to be M&M. But a cookie, there's a whole milieu, a flavor happening that like, well, what do we do now? You know what I mean? What do we do now?
Much larger commitment.
Yeah, it is a much larger commitment. Ergo, a much larger disappointment. Much larger, a lot farther to fall on the cookie expectations than the candy expectations. You know who has surprisingly good chocolate chip cookies? Based on my friend Rebecca's recommendation, McDonald's.
Now you know that I've had a McDonald's cookie.
Now you know if you need a fix. McDonald's chocolate chip cookies, and they're not too expensive. which, well, at least last I checked, now they're probably like $16 for 2 cookies, but I'm like rounding the corner on this stripy sweater and
Cute,
feeling pretty good about it.
cute, cute, cute.
Feeling groovy. Na 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 na. Feeling groovy. I have a great playlist. If anybody wants it, find me on Spotify and follow my, I call it Flower Child playlist. And it's all the great like 60s rock and folk stuff. So good. We got Mamas and the Papas. We got Simon and Garfunkel. We got all those obscure ones that you're like, where did that band go? Because they only had the one hit, the Zombies. We got a lot of the Zombies in there. Leia says, just jumped in. What are you stitching? Oh, I'm working on the little advent calendar. So I put out this tiny advent calendar pattern. I'll share it on my screen. There I go. It's like a little, you do a little couple. You could do your kids, you could do your dog, or you don't have to do the couple at all. And then the idea is you stitch just a little motif or a letter every day. So I'm just setting mine up. Boop, me and Spencer for Christmas. I'm putting stripes on my sweater. And then I'll set up the calendar portion and get my floss ready for my little daily advent. Counting down to Christmas. I'm pretty proud of myself for getting ahead of this. I'm not going to lie. It's November 29th. Normally, Lizzie would be scrambling to do this on like December 2nd and catch up. So
Not this year.
Not this year, folks. We are getting ahead of the game.
Amazing what happens when you sell a house.
Yeah, when you sell all your stuff and don't have a lot to think about, or don't have as much to think about. It's also when you're not taking improv classes or rehearsing a play or producing a short film or, you know.
Also that.
Just letting something slow and steady and happy like stitching be your single primary lane of focus for a while. Wow. Wow. How about that?
Wow.
Wow. I really don't know how parents do it. All of y'all with kiddos deserve gold. Not gold medals, just piles of gold. Smog style piles of gold for your time management, your resource management, your emotional bandwidth, your mental bandwidth, your physical. I don't know how y'all do it. This is one of the reasons we still don't have them, is because I'm like the math doesn't make sense, you guys. The math doesn't make sense. There are only 24 hours in a day. I already know how I misuse these 24 hours in my current life. If I add the responsibility of another human being's life, let alone like 2, 3, 4, 7 little tiny human beings' lives in my 24-hour day, I don't know how you do it. You parents, you're superhero people. You deserve awards, you deserve recognition, and you deserve heaping piles of gold. Because the prospect of this terrifies me. Just again, the math of it, the taking care of a human life, that's a whole other bag. Just the logistics, failing at the logistics, the prospect of failing at the time management and resource management alone. I forget to feed myself many days. How do I willingly be like, oh, cool, I'll do another mouth that needs feeding now? You people, I'm just so impressed. I'm so impressed with the moms and dads of the world. I stab fabric so I don't stab people. I wish. Oh, I'll take it. That's funny. Yeah, hey, we've all got our outlets, right? There you go. There you go. Really, I'm just so impressed with, like, I've watched my sister become like super mom with my little niece and nephew. And man, it looks like fun a lot of the time. Looks terrifying a lot of the time. I'm just so darn impressed. Just so darn impressed with you all. I don't know, maybe I should, do you want me to keep talking about how impressed I am? I can, if it's helping you feel good. If it's overwhelming, I could stop. But I really could go on and on and on, because I also sometimes get fed on the algorithm like parenting videos and things that I'm assuming my peers who are parents are watching this kind of stuff. And I think it's interesting because, again, I like psychology and mental health and all that. But whew, so many things to think about. And also, like, just the stuff you're up against with your kids, like the devices, the screens, the social media. What? How do you navigate this? Again, like the food that I sometimes forget to feed myself and would worry about needing to feed to another human being, I struggle to regulate my screen time. How would I impose this on a younger? And maybe it would help me with mine if I had to help them with theirs. There is that. I could see that being a thing. I could see that. But, we say we learn. I have a lot of friends who are like, you learn with them and you heal your stuff as you try and do better by them. Okay, I get this. But man, moms and dads, kudos to you. All the cheers. All of it. All of the kudos, congrats, and gratitude. You're an impressive people. Parents of the world! Every boy and every girl! Oh, the Spice Girls just came into this, but I'm not mad. Okay, I'm going to use black. I'm going to use 2 threads of black floss for my calendar portion of my little tiny mini advent calendar. And it's going to be so cute. I'm actually pretty excited to see this part come together. So a lot of times I make designs, but I don't stitch them up myself. So this is one of the times where I actually am, and that's pretty fun for me. Usually I'm just like, here, have a pattern. And then I go to making more patterns, and it's like, here, have a pattern. I think that's one of the things that has historically bummed me out about Stitch People, and I'm reclaiming. I went into making patterns for so long that there were years where like I didn't stitch much at all unless it was for a class or something like that. And I really like this part, turns out. So I'm going to be doing more of this, and I'm going to be stitching more, and I'm going to be making more because I like it. And that's why I'm teaching y'all how to make your own patterns. Get the basics down, and then when you need something unique, go for it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Certainly. I've learned that's true. I'm just a lady in the world. I'm just a person. And so are you. And that means we can do hard things. We can figure things out. Everything going on in the world is just other people doing it. They figured stuff out. Why not you?
Why not you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that Nutri-Grain commercial? Yeah. The guy takes a bite of a Nutri-Grain bar. This is from like 2000. I mean, this is like old school. And the guy takes a bite of a Nutri-Grain bar, and he gets all like, yeah. And he starts going around his office, and he's like, boss, I'm going to quit my job, and da-da-da-da. And he's like, and the boss takes a bite of a Nutri-Grain bar, and he's like, you know what? I admire you're a chutzpah, and I'm going to come with you. And they start like marching around the office. And he gives a Nutri-Grain bar to this woman, and he's like, I'm going to date you, and we're going to get married. And she's like, yeah. He's like, we're going to have babies. And she goes, yeah, babies everywhere. And she like starts stuffing her shirt with paper, and they start like walking around. Every time I say an enthusiastic, yeah, I always think of the two of that weird unhinged Nutri-Grain commercial. I had to look it up the other day because it was ringing around in my head. I was like, what was that? Because I couldn't remember what it was for. It was for Nutri-Grain. It was for Nutri-Grain. I don't love Nutri-Grain bars. Sorry about it, but the commercial still makes me laugh like 25 years later. What's weird is I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, those are like middle-aged people working in their jobs. And now I'm like, oh, they are my same age people in this commercial. Very funny how things change. I've started noticing that too the last couple years as we always watch Hocus Pocus at Halloween time. And yeah, when you start relating to like the mom and dad in that story a little more of like just where they're at in their lives versus the high school kids going to the cottage to wake up the Sanderson sisters, is like, oh no, we're like closer to the mom and dad than the kids. Oh no. Same thing with Home Alone. I think Catherine O'Hara was 36 or 37 in the first Home Alone movie. And I just turned 36 and I'm like, oh no, because she's got like 9 kids. Oh no. Oh dear. But again, maybe that's just me and my mystification, my mystified mindset around people who have multiple children. I just don't understand the math. I don't understand the logistics. Oh. I guess that's why there's like books and resources and products to help you with the babies, with the children, with the thing that becomes a very different part of your life. If we ever do that, I'm leaning on the Stitch People community so hard. Help me! What do I do? What do I buy? Okay. Oh, this is looking so cute, you guys. I'm doing the little letters of the calendar. Send them into Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm about to do Thursday. Of note, my left leg is entirely numb at this point. I'm sitting in such a way that I have lost feeling in my left leg, but we're just going to go with it. Adjusting? What's that? I'm on a roll. 1, 2, 3, Friday. I need to do Friday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. There's another internet classic for you, a la Nutri-Grain. Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
Everybody's
honestly, if she released that today, she would be quality compared to half the stuff people are posting now.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah, I'm in this subreddit called Crappy Music. Highly recommend. It's one of my sources of laughter and joy. I respect people putting out music that they are passionate about, but sometimes it doesn't always land, and that is to our great benefit as a society to be able to enjoy that. Oh gosh. We've had so many people join, and we've had so many people leave, which I totally get. But if you've joined, are you stitching? What you up to? What you doing? What you making? We're just stitching and hanging and sipping and stitching. I'm sipping on a sparkling, and I'm stitching an advent calendar. Do I have any Facebook comments I need to double check? Okay. Okay, I'm just double checking because my pattern is covering up windows on my screen at the moment. So here we are. Here we are. Oh my gosh, this is so stinking cute. Now I'm going to stitch the little underline. We're going to backstitch it. Technically, that's what we're doing. If you're joining, do you have any needs? Questions? Like what do you need? What do you need Stitch People to do? What can I do for you? Tell me what you need. Do you need patterns? Do you need books? Do you need resources? Do you need classes? Do you need techniques? What do you need? Tell me what you need. Can't guarantee I can give it to you, but I can put you in the right direction. That's for sure. We've got loads of patterns for you if you are creating handmade, custom, personalized, handmade cross-stitch family portraits for Christmas. We've got loads of patterns, sports, things like that. So make sure to use the search bar. We try and keep things tagged. That's going to be one of my big projects this year, is to make sure that our website is like properly tagged and organized and searchable. But we have most everything. Most everything indeedly do. We still need to do, I think we'll do ocean patterns this year. We'll finally get those out. I want to do ocean patterns. I want to do fantasy patterns. That's going to be, I've done a lot of like fantasy-esque stuff for custom things, custom projects for commissions and myself for friends or whatever, but I need to compile them. I need to compile them into a book, and I need to make that book available. Yeah, because here's the thing. You know what 2025 has taught me is that I'm just going to go for it. We have tried to partner with book publishers and people to do things like very officially and very whatnot, but there's a lot of ways to do things unofficially, and we just might try that because it's what the people want, and we have really tried to give people what they want in the most by the book way, and it just has not worked out. So I'm going to give you fantasy patterns with all sorts of royalty, with all sorts of magic wielders, with all sorts of fantasy adventurers. You see? And then maybe we'll do a space exploration book of patterns. Right? Right? With space adventurers and other planet dwellers. You see? Robots. Just robots. Silver ones, gold ones. You know. Just robots. Just princes and princesses for anyone who might need them for their fantastical, completely original portraits. Because those are fun portraits to make. Okay, I've got my calendar in place. Bam, boom, baby. Can I recommend Spiral Bound? So much easier to stay open as you follow along. Yes, most of our books are, well, our books have historically been spiral bound. Our DIY book is, the big one is, and we love the idea of staying with spiral bound long term. Our shorter collections, like fewer page count, we've been doing staple bound, and a couple of our books now are perfect bound. Because we're having to change our inventory management. The costs of things is so astronomical. The amount that it is starting to cost to print our books at the quality we've been printing them. It used to be that our books were, well, and it depends on the bulk that you buy in, but it's getting to the point where, and this is why our prices are where they are, because we print in America, because we've been using high quality paper and spiral binding and stuff. Our books cost like, and then shipping, they cost like sometimes $20 to $30 our cost to produce and get to you. And then our warehouse prices have been going up, printing prices have been going up. So our margins just keep getting sliced, and we don't want to make our products even more expensive. So we have been moving to print on demand. And the print on demand is by default a perfect bound. But hey, maybe that's the app we work on, is integrating the service that we use does offer different binding options. Yeah, and we are going to be moving into a space where you can choose which binding option you want. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it's been in the back of my head, like, do we really need to do that? Like, it'll take a little bit to integrate that into the website, but it sounds like yes. But in the meantime, if you live near a Kinko's or a FedEx, or even some universities have printing shops, like I know in Provo BYU has like a print shop, you can make copies and stuff. They also do this. You can get books spiral bound at those kinds of places. So I'm sorry, it's a second step. You're right. It makes it so much easier. And I'm so glad that the books that we do have that on are useful. So that's really, really good feedback. So thank you. I know the costs are nuts, you guys. It's like, it's so, it makes me, you know, in Emperor's New Groove, when they go to Pacha's house and his wife is like, the wife has like a little meltdown. That's how I feel about it. Like, I could get on my soapbox. I've got a soapbox. I'm sure you didn't see that coming, but boy, I've got a soapbox about where prices are at. And it's hard because like we really did, like, this isn't tooting our own horn kind of a thing. We've just genuinely tried that, like, okay, if we're going to do business, we're going to try and do this the right way. Like, we never wanted to outsource to China, even though that would make our printing our books like 50 cents to print them. But we don't know what the ethics are of that. And then there's import costs and shipping costs. So like, we've printed with a local printer, and we try and use the good, like, recycled materials, and we try and like, but boy, it's like you just get punished sometimes for trying to do things the right way. So we're trying to get rid of the warehouse, especially the warehouse costs have gotten really, really expensive. So you have to like pay for these big batch orders because the bigger the batch order, the lower per unit. But then you have all these boxes of inventory just sitting around. So you have to pay. Well, we don't like having that like in our house, in a garage. So, and we don't have one of those anymore.
We don't have one.
So we pay a warehouse to store our stuff. And when orders come in, the warehouse like ships them out to you. But then we have to pay for somebody to do that. And like it just adds up. So we're trying to cut that middle part out and just do the print on demand. But again, this for those of you, I don't know, it's called Lulu, Lulu. You can print your own stuff. You can do like photo books or your own books or whatever. So check out Lulu, but we use Lulu for print on demand. And so it sounds like we should integrate an app where people can choose their options.
Choose your own advantage.
Oh my gosh. I work at a local sewing shop. We redid all the inventory prices 3 weeks and then had to read them. Yes, it's wild. It's wild. And then, of course, with the tariffs, like, we're doing tariffs. And no, we're not. We're doing tariffs. And no, we're not. Like, at a certain point, I saw DMC, a skein of floss was like $5. They used to be like 40 cents. But here we are, you know. So, I don't know. It's crazy. Let's see. I should show you my this. Ta-da! My cute little Advent is all set up. So I will be doing a little stitch a day for the holidays, according to the pattern for the tiny Advent calendar. So if you want to do it too, there's still a few days to get ahead of it. And you don't have to do the people. Like, it's cute just to do the little Advent part. And then it's just, then you can put it in a little frame, like one of those 3-inchers. You know. Oh, I also want to show you something that I found online that is going to make my life easier and maybe will make your life easier as well. So I'm leaning into doing more bust style portraits, smaller like one-off portraits that I can send to people as gifts. And so these portraits are in like the little 3-inch hoops. And I'll show you what I mean. I've posted a couple of them recently, but I have like a little head ready to go. So just a little 3-inch hoop where I can do a bust and do some detail. And you know what I found online? I found these on Amazon, but I'm sure you can find them elsewhere, is pre-cut 3-inch felt pieces that I can use when I'm done. Boop, but they're already done. They're already cut out. And I can just put them right on the back. Blammo! How slick is that, you guys? Kapow! So if you ever do smaller stuff, ornament stuff, check out just like the pre-cut. You can get multicolor. You can get black and white. I just got some natural as well. So check those out. Super convenient. I also know a bunch of you do this kind of thing already, but I did finally splurge and I've never really like signed my portraits before, but I did finally get some customized little ribbon that I can cut and stitch onto the back. That's just like Stitched by Lizzie Bean with Stitch People. Just as a little way, I've been putting that on the backs lately, and just a nice little finishing touch. Got this on Etsy. Very happy with it. So, you know, I don't know if that helps or inspires anyone, but just thought I'd share. We love to see it. What else is new? I don't know. I might end this little sip and stitch early on account of I ended my Advent a little early. I thought it would take a little longer to stitch than it did, but I'm quite chuffed with it. So Spencer has a green sweater. We gave him red sneakers with crisscross detailing. I've got a red sweater with white stripe detailing. I gave myself green sneakers.
Green
we are living our best Christmas life. And you know what I did too that I'm going to take pictures of and post about online is I cross-stitched the hair. I did not do like the quote-unquote real hair here. I just cross-stitch it because that is perfectly fine and it looks very cute. It's not as time-consuming and not as overwhelming, and you can just bust it out and be done. How cute is that? And then I set up the calendar. So we are ready for our Advent. Oh, let's see. Do you use a ball tip cross-stitch needle? I was told it's life-changing. Just got mine delivered. I have one. Somebody sent me one, and I admit I've never tried it. I've also heard it's life-changing. Let me know what you think. Because does anybody else who's watching use a ball tip cross-stitch needle? I've not used mine. It's somewhere in my kit, and I just never, you know, I just get in my groove and I do what I know, and I just haven't tried it. I need to try it. It'd be kind of cool. So yeah. Anyway, I'll end a few minutes early today. But thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'm sorry again for the later start time, but we got there. Thank you for watching. Thanks you for happy holidays to you too. And thanks for hanging out. It's always fun to sip and stitch together. Good luck, Angela, with your commission, and Chris with your colder season. I hope you get some egg and bacon pie soon. Andy, I hope you get your gift card. Thanks for your interest, and thank you everybody for supporting Stitch People, being part of the Stitch People community. If you're working on a tiny advent, definitely post pictures. I'd love to see the way everybody personalizes it and gets it done for Christmas. And that's available, stitchpeople.com. Oh, and a reminder, we're doing a Black Friday, whatever weekend, cyber whatever sale. We've put all of our Christmas patterns. There's 17 Christmas patterns in a bundle, and you can get all 17 patterns. It's like $170 something value for just $75. Oh, that was a loud clap.
That was a very loud
so it's just
clap.
$75. So it's like 55% off if you just buy it all together all at once. So check that out. It's like automatically, it's just a bundle. It's on the homepage. Check it out. We might do more sales. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to stay on top of things. So, and we've already have our other book sale going on still to clear our warehouse inventory. As I was explaining, we're trying to get rid of our warehouse middleman and do print on demand. So we'll do that too. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy belated Thanksgiving to those of you in the U.S. And good luck with all of your holiday projects. Don't forget to take time to take deep breaths and enjoy a handmade Christmas this year. Thanks so much for joining. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.